Morning. Morning, guys. Okay, so we're gonna start making our analysis here. Let me just see if my stream has started. It did. So we're just gonna start. Let me see if I can hear myself. Morning. Okay, fine. um, okay, so we're gonna start with our analysis, right? DXY instantly for me looks bearish. It doesn't look long-term bearish, but we have the pattern I always talk about, which is fractal high, which is a head and shoulder, if you want to call it that, which usually means this is a very strong structural point that usually is formed on highs, which this means this is going to be a high. And what are we going to form now? A potential higher low or a low around this area. That's what I'm predicting. So what I'm predicting is price reaching lower towards this low, because we did have kind of an inverse. We inversed this gap. We had a 4-hour gap. We fell the lower high here. So we have a lot of confluence on going lower, right? And reaching this low. Why this low? Why are we not scared to target this low? Because of this FVG. Because this FVG already got mitigated many times, twice. When FVG gets mitigated twice, it loses a lot of relevance. Therefore, it loses a lot of strength. And this becomes an easy target, and we draw towards this overall. So 4-hour, we're definitely bearish. I'm gonna start making my analysis. I don't necessarily need to save them, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. Here in analysis, I haven't been that consistent with analysis, but I feel like it doesn't really matter that much at this point in my journey, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Come on. Okay, Notion's gonna take a bit of time to load. That's what is kind of annoying sometimes, because for some reason these take time to load. But yeah, so reaching lower, 1-hour gap here. We do have a bullish one, so I would actually say we want to see this getting inverse before us start getting lower. Otherwise, we're probably gonna reach higher. We don't really have confluence for reaching higher, but there's a potential to do that as well, because we have a bullish range, right? But I still think we're gonna fail lower, meaning euro is going to continue higher. By the way, we're looking, yeah, very likely this area is really good on euro here. Of a sweep of Asian lows, we can probably already look at buys. 4-hour inverse, sell side liquidity taken. Yeah, this is already valid to be looking at buys. Now it's going to be way better for us to be targeting this high, so it's going to be a pretty nice setup here on euro, on the sweep of Asian lows here, and on the retest for that 4-hour. I don't really expect to have strength to this. Is a very strong formation here, so yeah, this is good. Okay, we have a potential good setup already for the day, but let's start with making our analysis. If this loads, okay, DXY. So DXY, we are chilling on going bearish in my opinion. We formed a really strong fractal high, which usually supports move lower towards internal drawn liquidity. That's what I'm expecting, because this FVG also lost a lot of relevance. So generally we do have this bullish FVG, which I do want to see get inversed on DXY. On euro, it's kind of small, so it doesn't really matter on euro, right? But we do have this gap here, which we mitigated, but I'm still definitely kind of expecting we might retrace towards here, because this is a good area. So we just need to be careful at timing here when this price is gonna leave, right? Overall, still expecting bearish price action, but very bullish cases are not impossible. Area is a bit kind of uncertain, so we gotta be really careful at timing this move lower, because price might also draw towards the fractal highs or the block before going lower. That's pretty much all I want to say. And we do have this bullish FVG on euro, yeah, but overall it's not like a very strong Asia. We might be drawing towards this, that's the only thing. So we might take Asian highs, kind of draw towards this order block around here, and then start dwelling lower. But I'm not that confident. Like, we can still play bullish scenarios, but I wouldn't say that, considering how much rejections we got on this high right here. These are very heavy rejections, so I would still probably expect bearish scenarios, even if we're expecting that we do have one in theory, but I still prefer bearish cases here. So We do have again one with one, so if this is bullish, yeah, this order block just looks really good for me here. This order block that we have inside the fractal low, so they're kind of similar. It's just kind of hard to time the entry and to time when I still really like 4 hour here, 4 hour inverse. I don't really see price respecting that, but I do. Yeah, it depends. It's not necessarily an easy case to be trading in. I do really like 4 hour here on euro. We do have 4 hour inverse and 4 hour gap, so technically good buys. That's pretty much it. I do like this gap, but I do really like this order block, so we gotta be really careful on timing this entry, as I said. So I do like generally our area 4 hour, but we do really have a very good order block in New York yesterday, where price initiated from the range. So I would be very careful if we start for leaving before we get into that. Probably gonna look for a lower time frame trigger like 15 inverse or 1 hour inverse or something like that, right? Because we're forming this gap here. Is generally a trending Asia, but it still doesn't look very strong to me. So it's just a scenario that we gotta be a bit careful about in terms of what are we reacting of, because this order block also reached pretty good. It's also wickable, so yeah, we might as well leave from Asian lows. I haven't had a raid Asia setup in a while, so that would be actually nice. I kind of haven't traded the setup in a while, so we're gonna see. DAX, Geo is not, I wouldn't say in a great spot. Like, it's still kind of slowly going higher. We're probably gonna draw towards this retesting this wick at some point. So let me start my recording as well, because I almost forgot. But Geo, I can say I really like here on the 4 hour. I'm just gonna paste it and not even write anything because I don't like how it looks. But yeah, 1 hour we do have bullish to bullish right here, but I just don't like the pair, how it's presenting itself. I mean, if we sweep the high and then inverse, it might be good, but I just don't like it. You get what I mean? I just don't like how it looks, so probably gonna skip it straight out of the bat. We do have this buy side here, but I just don't like when Asia's like this, very open. On lows it usually fails, meaning we're probably gonna draw towards this. So I don't really like Geo. I'm not even gonna analyze it. Apparently our bias was right on AUD USD, but we ended up just chopping around for the whole day yesterday. So we're probably, what we're gonna do is reach into this high. Do we want to be trading off that high? Probably not. So this is very likely a pair that this was our idea. It's already playing out, so we're very likely not gonna try and do anything. So this is the pair I'm gonna skip as well, because yeah, it's very choppy. I don't see any opportunity right now, so yeah, just not worth trying to force any opportunities. So UK here is above the highs. This is a case where we gotta start to be a bit careful. But order flow does we're looking at recent price action. Order flow does look really bullish here, so that's all I'm gonna write. Order flow is still looking pretty bullish. But we reached range high, so we gotta be careful. That's pretty much it. And I need to see 1 hour gap here print, but it's probably not gonna do that. It's probably gonna leave early. DAX is extremely overextended. I don't really like taking these like heavy overextended setups. Like, I do like to see myself on a retracement or some, but once again we do have bullish order flow, and this would be a pretty nice inverse. I think this is a 50-minute FVG exactly. Okay, this, I do really like DAX how it looks here. I would prefer DAX over UK though. I like a bit better how it looks lower time frame. We had this rebalance. We have this FVG here. We have Asian low swept, so now we're probably not gonna sweep it. And from here I just want to see an inverse, like we have a nice break of structure. We already have this inverse here. retrace, and then look for buy. So this actually can be a good setup to take. So DAX I'm gonna watch. Gold, bro, gold on yesterday we had such a good bias, it's crazy. Like we had such a good bias, it's crazy. I said, okay, we're reaching back into these lows. Okay, this was the first trade that we took, but this was the second, right here on 2R. So I said we're reaching back into these lows, and when we reach into these lows, we're gonna reverse towards the 4-hour AVG. That's exactly what we do. Like, this was a very precise call on gold, but now we're kind of switching bullish, right? We're kind of switching bullish. We're also inversing this, so I'm not really sure if this very zone is gonna hold lower, because it doesn't really look like it for now. That's the thing. So I don't know, because we have sell side sweep, 4-hour strong low, 4-hour gaps, and kind of now confluence are a bit higher towards being bullish, but we do kind of need to see that retracement as well here. So yeah, we're kind of I'm tending more to see bullish cases here. Yeah, just because of behavior and how we printed overall in the day. We are kind of switching bullish here by behavior. We had a sell side swept, strong low, and gap printed compared to bearish scenarios. Here I just want to see a bit more structure. Probably is gonna hold the bearish PY to retrace towards that FG and then continue higher. So meaning kind of my expectancy here, bearish cases don't have that much confluence, but I'm still kind of, they're probably gonna cause a reaction towards this, and then bullish step in towards targeting the sell side, or we actually can inverse and then just straight up go, which the inverse would actually be, I would say, this. So it's just kind of up to, yeah, whatever. I would probably prefer, we can also look to target this, but it looks like it's rejecting off the top of the highs, and it looks like a rejecting of this, so we're probably gonna see that retracement. This order block also looks really good. So yeah, we're probably gonna sell off. I don't know if I want to take those sells. I prefer taking buys at this point, by the way it's looking, and keeping to target that targeting that buy sell equity that we have on the highs here. I would prefer that scenario, so I'm actually gonna do that. I think I don't really want to be selling here. If we get a retrace, fine, that's probably gonna be my idea, which this can be maybe a New York setup or whatever. So let's also look at GJ pairs or JPY pairs. This looks pretty bullish. We have 4-hour with 1-hour gap printed here, so this looks pretty good. This 4-hour here, we're not scared of it, because on the 1-hour it's balanced, so it gives us structure. This can actually be a pretty good trending edge again to take price towards the high, towards at least this gap, I would say, around here, and overall this high. So even though we did reach higher type, but then we reached this, we did, so we just gotta be careful at that. But yeah, generally I think this trending edge just should be playing once more. Sell side, nice sell side sweep here, nice 4-hour AVG, a nice gap here to give us confluence. So first confluence, second confluence to taking price higher. So I do like that. This is more, I'm tending more to say bearish cases. UG is a bit weaker because we already inversed here, and yeah, it's just gonna be monitored. So considering the best pairs for today, I would like euro here. If we inverse, I do like euro to be taking buys here. It's, yeah, not a great setup, but this is a lot of resistance on this low. I'm not really expecting price to break them. I do like DAX, and gold is gonna need some time to print. I don't really like UK. I do like GG, but I don't know about this high. I don't really like the fact that we grabbed that higher time frame high here, and we do have, I think, a daily AVG, a big ass daily AVG. So I don't know if I want to be taking buys around here, but I generally think they're gonna work. Like, this doesn't look like a strong reaction lower, like a reaction from a trend switch is very retractive. I wouldn't really call, compared to UJ looks a bit more like it's gonna start continuing lower. So I'm gonna watch UG for those bearish cases. If we inverse, this is gonna be a pretty good setup. But I'm gonna watch both of these cases. Here we have 4 hour with 4 hours, so that's enough. And now what we're gonna watch is for this to get inverse. So anyways, GG's UG is a bit better to be watching, and like this is a way different trending Asia compared to this. Like for me, this looks like it's gonna fail. This doesn't look like it's gonna fail. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're just gonna be a bit careful on JPY pairs. And I do like this. Can be a trending Asia, can not be, but yo, we're gonna watch. We're not chasing any setups. I think probably the best I'm liking here is Euro. We do have a bit of resistance, but I don't think it generally should be necessarily a problem of taking this bearish range. Doesn't look that strong. It can indeed hold this, but we're gonna see. The setups are not that great, I would say, but I need to see price print to and decide in the moment, like if I'm gonna take a setup. In terms of confluence, um probably GG is actually the best in terms of confluence. So yo, but we do have, the only thing that is making me iffy about the setup is that we have that high getting taken. So we're gonna see. Wow. What is wrong? So yeah, I'm gonna probably go drink a coffee because one coffee wasn't enough. I'm still asleep. Like it's not enough one coffee for me at this point. Need to heavily caffeinate myself. So again, DAX is something we need to see an inversion on Euro. We already reached the POI, so we're watching here to see if we get an inversion. Here we're waiting for GG. We're waiting to reach into our hourly POI just to get inversed. UK not really, and UK and gold are gonna be later setups that we need to see print. But overall, probably Euro to be looking at buys. It's a riskier setup. I'm not sure if I want to be taking trades inside this, unless I don't know, I see something very convincing in here. Very convincing, right? I do believe this gives me confidence. The 4 hour invis gives me confidence, but this high looking strong, and this we still have a 1 hour gap here, so that's kind of all my iffiness about the shakers. We're anticipating a bullish trend switch. We did have two ranges. We did have first range, second range. So this is usually when a bullish trend switch is pretty goodly confirmed. Here we only had one range, but now we're having two ranges here with failing the higher low, and this is a place where we have pretty much decent confluence to be looking for that bullish intention, probably towards this high and probably towards this buy side liquidity. And this, we have a lot of buy side liquidity for the future move, and price did look really nice. Like from here the lows were kind of descending, and here kind of started slowing down and switching. So this is how usually trend switches. You don't see a trend switch fast. Usually you see something like this. The same we did on gold here on the lows on lower time frames. We see how we made that structure, that consolidation. So yeah, we're gonna see. I do like overall, I do find it decent to be looking at buys here, but I need to go, and I'm gonna be back in, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. I'm sorry if I take this break, but I do really need a coffee right now. Like I need a coffee, man. I need a coffee, man. I can't be living without coffee, man. Like goddamn. True, man. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Dax already flew, man. I don't know about you, I do like how we're starting to move. This would probably be an idea, I would say. 3R. Hmm. I don't know. I don't really trust this setup for some reason, but it might work. Hmm. We do have a pretty really good 4 hour here for our inversion. We do have a 1 hour gap overlap, and we do kind of have this sort of block, but I don't know. I just don't trust it. Like, my intuition is telling me something's wrong about this, but I'm not sure. I don't like here. I don't need like Asias like this. I don't like this. I don't know, to be honest. Ciao, fratello. Ciao. Sì, I don't really like this setup though. It feels iffy. This feels iffy. I think this is what I don't like. But I don't think I'm taking this shit, bruh. I don't like it. Dax already reached, maybe on the retest. We're gonna see how it happens. But I need to go. Um, I'm gonna be 10 minutes away. I'm gonna still watch on my phone, but I do need more structure. I would like to see a deeper pullback. I don't trust the Asias. Like, the Asias that don't open are just really voided. This is not something I'm ever really trading, because they tend to get printed through, so meaning that this gap is more likely to hold and fill this open here, and maybe from here start reacting. So I don't like that shit. Probably gonna watch GJ and Dax. What we're waiting on Dax is just a retracement of this 1 hour inversion, if we get it, if we do. But yeah, I can say I really like the setups today. Not really great. I don't need to force. I already made 8% this week, so I don't need to force anything. And sometimes it's just about keeping your money, to be honest. We're gonna see. Okay, UK left. This order box is looking good here, but yeah, probably gonna displace lower more. Like, I'm gonna go. Sorry, bro, for going away again, but I do need a coffee, bro. Like, one coffee ain't enough lately. Especially on rainy days, bro. I feel like on rainy days I need 2 coffees to be fully awake. But yeah, we're just gonna take like 10 minutes, and that's it. I'm gonna be back, but this probably not gonna take it. Dax will watch, but it's very likely just gonna leave. More likely to leave. We're gonna see. But I can't say I like today in terms of setups. I was looking at GG. I actually like this. Okay, let's see. I do like the GG trade here, so I'm probably gonna take this shit. Yeah, we just reacted massively of that. We have really strong higher time frame confluence. We swept sells. We came here. We swept these lows. This 4 hour doesn't mean much because 1 hour, 1 hour is balanced, so it doesn't really matter. We're gonna target probably this 1 hour FVG right here. And yo, I do really like this gap that we got here on London Open. This for me looks like a very wickable entry. I was kind of hesitating at first because, yeah, I just thought about money and I thought about the fact that I don't want to lose. And that's not a place to want to be in. You want to think about you trading, right? So our entry is probably, spread is slightly big, but we're probably going to place our entry here. We have 5 lots. I was watching this on my phone. And we're going to probably place our entry around here. 199.022. It's all about expressing my skill. What does my skill think? What does my intuition think? I think this is a good trade. 485. Oh, 845. My bad. 845 and take profit. We're gonna put it later. 199.200. That's okay. I do really like the 5-minute gap here. It does look good, right? The 5-minute gap does look good here, but the 5-minute look on 3-minute, it's balanced, so it doesn't really fucking matter. It loses a lot of relevance, and this looks like a very, very wickable entry for me. So that's all I'm gonna do, and what we're gonna target is generally this high. I think at around oh my god, if this hits, we're gonna make like 5%. Jesus Christ! But we're gonna see. Overall, this 1 hour gap is gonna be my main target, and let's see this, and we're gonna pay attention to this because that's where usually price reacts in cases like this. So even though, yeah, we're probably gonna see that this entry looks extremely good for me. It looks like a very wickable entry, meaning what we're gonna do is not like this, like this. That's what it looks like for me. And here I put my entry slightly higher. Again, we don't have 3-minute on MetaTrader, so what I did do is use 1 minute to place my entries, which is beneath this low. I place it a bit higher because of spread, and I want to cover spread, especially if I'm thinking that this is gonna be a sniper entry. So we're gonna see. I do really like this. This is a trending Asia. We have really good confluence on the higher time frames. We have 4 hour getting swept, 4 hour liquidity getting swept, 4 hour POI, and we have a 1 hour gap. The thing that I hesitated initially about the trade is that we didn't see a deeper pullback, but this is sometimes how trending Asias play, which trending Asia is this model that I'm trading right now. Sometimes we just sweep like lower time for liquidity and then start displacing higher. But yeah, I'm not gonna enter here. First of all, again, as I said, 5-minute lost relevance massively because 3-minute is balanced here, so it's just alignment between time frames. Same on 1 minute. The only area of gaps is around here where I'm actually taking my entry. So that's what I'm gonna do. This looks like a wickable entry, like a good entry, but we're gonna see if price does it. And I'm also expecting price to start retracing a bit because of this bearish FVG, but we're gonna see what it do. I still do believe in bullish prices here, and we have 3R on the main target, which is this high right here. And overall, we're gonna probably have our final target on 5R. I think it's 5 point something, 5.5. Okay, so we're gonna see. I initially hesitated because, yeah, it's just about thinking about a percentage, but that is where now my focus should be. My focus should be on expressing my skill. What do I think is this trade? Is this a good trade? Is this a bad trade? Yeah, I think it's a good trade. Then execute. That's it. If the trade loses, it's okay. Like I just, yeah, I'm just expressing my skill. The result doesn't really matter. All I have to do is focus. Like I have the saying, focus on focusing. That's all I gotta do. And yeah, I do like this, how it's looking. Now we just gotta wait for that retracement. Euro and the other pair, I really don't want to trade like this. Pairs are kind of bullshit for me. DAX is looking like it did come into that inverse that we talked about, but GJ is anyways the best pair in terms of higher time frame confluence. in terms of a setup. So I'm gonna probably, I mean, I'm taking it, right? And whatever happens, happens. I do like the entry. As I said before, it's a wickable entry for me. So yeah, we're gonna take it. And whatever happens, happens. This is what you gotta tell yourself every time you feel like you're starting to hesitate or feel like you're starting to get anxious. If the trade is good, which it is, right? For me, it's a good trade. How we're forming the sort of how we're reacting, range is balanced. We have an easy way to deliver higher. If that is in your mind, then take it. Again, we could have taken it on the 5 minute, but for me, it's irrelevant. And my skill, as I said before, that's what matters. My skill is saying that this is, anyways, a really bad place for R. We're only getting 2R. I mean, it's decent, but I just don't think we're gonna react of this because of this. A 5 minute relevance is gonna be determined by the other time frames as well, right? If this would have been a gap here on the 3 minute or on the 1 minute, then I would have taken maybe the entry here. But looking at lower time frames, we get a kind of an insight on which gap is more likely to hold, and in this case is definitely the one that we have in discount pricing. So yeah, we're gonna see what it do. It might react off here, sure, but I don't care. For me, I'm taking what I think. Yeah, what I think is more possible. In this case, is like this. And in formations of rejections like this, we usually tend to come to this order block that we have. So yeah, we're gonna see. For now, I do want to see. I do like how we're coming lower. We're coming lower really slow. We don't want to see impulse in our entry. That's not something we usually want to see. And my entry is slightly higher here to just cover spread, and that's pretty much it. We'll see if it plays out. But yeah, this is how we usually plays. This is kind of pattern I see, and we come here and we go. This is what I see, right? This is what my pattern recognition is telling me that we're gonna do. Now it's just up to if price gonna confirm it or not. Alright, at the end of the day, and also before we enter a trade, we gotta accept the fact that this trade can lose. If we don't, we're gonna be very likely to make some bad decisions, like cut our loser short, or do stupid shit like that, or close the trade too early. So before entering any trade, you gotta accept the possibility of it losing. So right now, when I place this trade, I accepted the fact that it's possible to lose, and I gotta be fine with that, right? I gotta be fine with that because if I'm not, I'm gonna do some stupid shit. Emotions are gonna come up if I see, I don't know, something I don't like, and that's just gonna cause bad decisions. So again, just accepting. Let's see, I do like how we're coming lower here. Also, I want to address the topic later because a guy kind of commented on my live stream yesterday that oh my god, you're such an unprofitable trader because you think intuition, you can follow intuition, but intuition is just emotion and like things like that. Like, bro, come on, bro, what is you on about? But I'm gonna address it later, probably after the trade. For now, we just gotta stay focused on seeing how this trade behaves. And this is gonna be also something good. I'm not really scared about the impulse because we're gonna form a gap here, and if that gap gets inversed, then we're gonna be able to scale in, right? Just be patient, bro. Just trust the process. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna play some music. I forgot about music. What is this playlist? We might also react of the order block. That's not impossible. That's not impossible to happen if we react of this. But yeah, still don't think my entry is bad. So yeah, we're just taking our entry in the most likely area for price to react of. If it reacts to this, that's completely fine. If it reacts to this 1 minute order block, that's fine. Because sometimes when we have wicks like this is a deep rebalance, but I don't really see any other reason for me to take my entry here. If that makes sense, I'm still gonna wait for my entry to get taken. If not, that's fine. We're not here to be, I don't know, mad about not getting tapped in. Like, this is just part of trading. If price just leaves from here, that's just part of trading. You get what I mean? Sometimes your entry ain't gonna get tapped, and that you should be completely fine with that. I used to get so mad when I was a beginner about the fact that my trade I used to get so mad if my entry would get missed. I would get so mad that I would start revenge trading and then lose, of course. But I still think we're gonna come in my entry. If not, again, that's fine. This for me is still the most probable area that we see an entry from. So if price leaves, that means that it played the unlikely scenario to happen, which is fine. This is just part of trading. Even sometimes you can have the best entry possible in the best place possible, and price will still not tap you in. This is just trading, and the faster we accept that this is trading and we cannot really change this from happening, the sooner we're gonna be fine with this happening, if that makes sense. But I'm still thinking, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, that we're still gonna come back and sweep this, like, lower time frame lows. But it's still up to price at the end of the day. Price does what it wants to do. If it found enough orders from here to sustain the buys, that's completely fine. But again, for me, this still looks like a breakable entry, so I'm gonna stand on that, and yeah, no matter what happens, I know at the end of the day I made the best choice possible. The best choice was not to take entries over the 5 minute, was still to take here, because this is the most relevant area. And that should be how you feel after every decision you make. That's what is gonna give you peace, and that's what is giving your best, taking the best decision possible. If at the end of the day you took the best decision possible, anything else doesn't fucking matter. What happened with the trade doesn't matter. What if your entry got missed doesn't matter. If the trade ended up in a lose, none of these things actually fucking matter. What it matters, you did your best, you took the best decision, and you were focused enough to take the best decision. The other pairs, as I said, are done. Euro struggling. DAX is weirdly reacting higher, and the rest I don't really like. Okay, UK massively respected the order block. This could have been a demand setup that I said, but yeah, it's just intuitive. I still think we're gonna come for entry, but yeah, depends. Because 3 minute looks like we're leaving, and 1 minute looks like we're leaving now, so. But I do still think it's gonna be a fake move, and we're gonna still come back and sweep, because this FVG should just do better. But this looks like an FVG that gets kind of later tapped in, if that makes sense. So it looks like an FVG that, first of all, we have a bullish intention, then price doesn't have enough volatility to print, and we come back and resweep this and then go higher, like coming back to break-even orders, if that makes sense. That's when we come back to break-even orders, when we don't have volatility to print the move higher. So yo yo what the fuck, what was that, like a Steve sound effect? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Look like we're living though. I still believe in my entry. That meaning maybe after we take the high, we start retracing, resweeping this, and then going higher, because GG doesn't have that much volatility a lot of times, so it has to do resweeps. But who am I to know, right? I'm just a mere trader. That, how did I guys say, that has no objectivity in his trading. I whatever you say, little bro. You have to understand that intuition is, you're confusing emotions with intuition. So let's go over your comment. If you're watching this video, yeah, just listen, bro. Like, I'm not here to be arrogant or tell you that you're stupid like you did with me, and tell me that I'm unprofitable or whatever and kind of attack you. I'm here to just show you what's possible. If you're willing to listen, I'm gonna tell you how I managed intuition and how I made it work. Talk is the talk of an unprofitable trader that still didn't get it. You clearly don't understand how intuition is working, bruh. And that it can work against you. I had never seen intuition work against me. Kill your ego in this. I'm not speaking from ego, I'm speaking from my experience and understanding that trading based on intuition is not objective. It is objective and a repeatable process. It is a repeatable process because it will always put slightly different performance. Not really. I mean, you're kinda slightly right here. It's not fully objective and repeatable. That's why you need rules, okay? But we're gonna talk about that later. Only your system can be objective and repeatable. But you think intuition is not part of my system? Trust me, it took more than 3 years to understand it. No, what it took you is 3 years while you tried improving and tried implementing intuition in trading, failed, and then said that intuition is bullshit. You're the same as the trader that tried trading, fail, and they say trading is a scam. You're the same as people that try and get a nice girl, they get rejected, and they say she's a whore. Like, bruh. Good luck, and again, your ego's not the one that should talk. As I said, I'm not talking from a space of ego, but whatever. By the way, the most common mistakes on intuition trading is confirmation bias, emotional trading, and impulsive actions. You are confusing intuition with emotions. Lack of objectivity in your trading. You think about blah blah. Too much ready for you to eliminate that emotions. You're confusing intuition with emotions. They're two separate things. Trust me, this one way of thinking the same way as you long before touching my rock bottom, bro. So let's understand this, right? Intuition is not emotions. They're two separate things. So let's start with the basics. What is intuition? Intuition is subconscious pattern recognition. I'm gonna say it again. Intuition is subconscious pattern recognition. It has nothing to do with emotions. What is confusing is that sometimes it's hard, I mean most of the time it's hard to differentiate between emotions and intuition, because they're both kind of operating in the back of your mind, so it's really hard to tell the difference. So for you to be able to consistently act and consistently use intuition to the point where it's going to make good results for you is eliminating emotions, because emotions are the single thing that can block intuition and lack of focus, right? Emotions are the only thing that can get in the way of intuition. Intuition is not inconsistent. What is inconsistent is your emotions and your state as a trader when you're coming the market. So for the only way for you to make intuition work is for you to come from an unbiased state of mind, for you to be emotionless every time you trade. Intuition is not the inconsistent thing. The inconsistent thing is our emotional state, right? Because we are humans, we're usually unstable. Some days we feel like we don't want to do this, some days we feel like we want to win, some days we feel like we don't want to lose. That's what is going to make intuition inconsistent, not what you're saying, right? Our emotions are blocking intuition. So how are you going to fix that, and how are you going to able to apply intuition consistently is by you being in a space of non-emotions. How I'm trading, like you see my results the past few days. If I was in an emotional state, I would have made way more worse decisions, and it would have caused intuition to be blocked, therefore I would end up taking emotional decisions and like lose or something. You get what I mean? I don't know if you get what I mean, but yeah. So also you act like objectivity and intuition are two separate parts, bro, but they work together, bro. They work together. Of course I have a system. You act like you know me when you don't even know 1% of my system, right? This is what I talked about many times. Like, for you to be able to use intuition the most, you have to blend it with rules, which is your objectivity, whatever you're talking about. Because yes, indeed, when you use too much intuition, when you only rely on intuition, it's hard to apply consistently. But you need to find that sweet spot between rules and intuition. Again, this path with using intuition is not for everyone. Like, I build the system alone and I figure out how to use intuition alone. Why? Because I'm a generally heavy intuitive person. This might not work for you, and that doesn't mean your system is stupid, or that doesn't mean if using intuition worked for me, it doesn't mean my system is stupid. Right? Everyone has their system, and that's how it should be, because every person is different at the end of the day, bruh. Like, I'm a heavy intuitive person, therefore I build an intuitive system. If you're not an intuitive person and you feel like intuition is hard for you to be used consistently, then don't use intuition in your trading. Some people have a general attraction towards systematic rules and just system, very rigid system. For me, I like to trade with intuition. This is just how I like to trade. That doesn't mean it's for everyone, and it should never be. You have your system, I have my system. That's the reality of how things are, right? I have my system, you have yours. For me, this is what works. That doesn't mean you come, if it didn't work for you, that doesn't mean I'm stupid and you'd come here and just made me in all the type of ways with zero respect. Like, what did I do to you, bro? I didn't say anything. I didn't attack you like you did. I just was there and talking about my opinion. If you don't agree with it, you just go on, just keep the video and go on with your day. You don't have to agree with it and kind of attack me. The only ego that was speaking was yours, because what you were doing was protecting your fears, that maybe figuring out intuition and using it consistently, it's actually a way, but you just gave up too early and you failed to understand how intuition actually works, right? Intuition is hard to use, yes, I do agree, but it's not impossible, and it's not how you said. Intuition, I never seen intuition work against me once, bro, once. What works against you is emotions. That's where you're not understanding that emotions and intuition are two separate things. And what you fail to realize is that emotions block intuition. You can listen if you're willing to listen. I'm here to help. I'm not here to attack you. But if you feel attacked, that's your problem. That's not mine. That's not mine. I'm just here to show my opinion. If you don't agree with it, just keep the video. It's simple, right? That's the hard part, because you can follow a rigid system even if you have emotions, right? You have 2 hours, you have some rules to check, and then you let the trade run, and whatever happens. That's the easy way. But for intuition to be working, you have to be completely detached from results, and your identity cannot be tied to results in any way, shape, or form. That's how you're gonna make intuition work. It is a harder path, but for me, it's way more rewarding. It's way more rewarding, and that's what I always knew, because it's built around myself. I don't know if you took away anything from this, but don't start being here and saying shit like, you're unprofitable. I don't care. Okay, I'm unprofitable or break even or whatever. Who cares, bro? I'm just sharing my opinion. I didn't attack you. Why are you attacking me? Intuition for me is great. Maybe for you it isn't. Maybe bridge systems for you are great, but maybe for me they aren't. That doesn't mean they're shit, or that doesn't mean you can trade them. That just means that it works for you. Trading is subjective in its nature, and every person is different. Therefore, every person should have a different strategy built around itself. For me, as I said, heavily intuitive trader, heavily intuitive in general in real life. Therefore, I built a heavily intuitive strategy to help me benefit from my characteristic as a born individual. That doesn't mean it's stupid, right? Doesn't mean my strategy is shit or yours is shit. Every strategy can work. Every way of trading can work. And for me, intuition has done crazy things that you would never be able to imagine, right? You would never even begin to start to imagine what intuition has done, because I position myself in a place where I can benefit of intuition, right? And that's what is hard to do about intuition, because you have to come emotionless and unbiased every single day when you come in the market. That's how you're gonna make intuition work. Because if you come with any sort of bias, any sort of expectation, any sort of emotions, that's gonna block your intuition. And therefore, you're not gonna be able to use it consistently. And as I said, it also needs to be a blend between intuition and rules. They're not separate. Intuition actually depends on rules. It depends on rules because intuition is an enhancer of a strategy. Intuition cannot work alone with no foundation. It's an enhancer of a strategy. And what intuition is, as I said, is pattern recognition built over time. It's pattern recognition of me seeing the same setups. You act like I don't trade with any setups. This is one of my models, which is Training Asia. I do have rules that I'm trading in. I have higher time frame rules that I need to follow non-negotiably. I have higher time frame strategy that I need to follow non-negotiably. I have intraday profiles that I need to follow non-negotiably. I have entry rules that I need to follow non-negotiably. What intuition does is just enhance those. What does enhancing mean? Tell me when a trade is bad and skip it. Tell me when a trade is good and go high risk. Tell me when to make sort of decision, when it's time to close, when it's time to enter, when it's time to scale in. That's what intuition is doing. It's only making the already strategy that I have better. That's what an enhancer means. It can never work alone, and it will never work alone. Like, that's why you're stupid, bro. Like, I'm not sending people. Let's see if this still gets tapped in. I'm curious. For now, I'm still, as I said, this is usually, again, see, this is where my intuition comes in. This is usually an entry that gets tapped in later. What is this what is intuition here? What is telling me is telling me that I've seen these entries like this happen over time, and they tend to get tapped in later. Boom. Pattern recognition. What is built from me taking entries like this over time, 10s, 20s, 30s of entries like this. Would I be able to tell this if I was emotional? If I was scared to lose and see price live like this and do this 1 minute gap, I would close the trade because I would be scared. What if price comes in, leaves? Then intuition is blocked, and then intuition cannot function anymore. Like, bruh. We're gonna see. For now, we're still chilling. I still see the sweep of this low here. I don't see any, yeah. Hi, bro. Let's see if it goes, but it's fine for now. It should be fine. Salut. Oare tu ești, oare? Nu mai știu, stai. Să văd profilul. Not sure, but yeah. We're just waiting to see what it do. We're not looking at any other trades, to be honest, for today. This is the only trade I'm looking at, and I'm gonna pay attention to how we behave. This is not dangerous whatsoever. We're just 1 minute retractive price action. Even this range looks really good for a sweep of that lows and tap into that average. Is still the highest quality area for us to maintain and still hold. But if it goes, it goes. Nu-mi dădeam seama, nu mai știam numele. It looks like it's living, but that's fine. Again, not every entry you're gonna place is gonna get tapped in, and that's where your job is to not get mad at it, right? Even if the trade goes to my full TP, now I'm not thinking about the percentage. Oh my god, I could have made the 3%. I'm thinking about the fact that my decision ended up being right, and then I'm asking myself, was there a way for me to take my entry here and avoid this? And reality, the answer already is no. Because, yeah, 5-minute FVG are relevant, still the best decision to take my entry here. So no matter what happens, it still ended up being the best decision to take my entry here. It's just the market doesn't always tap you in. But yeah, I'm gonna see. It's still not impossible to get tapped in. We're still gonna wait. Because sometimes this also does prices, like builds this slow bullish uptrend, then sweeps, and then goes. Like I've seen this happen a lot of times. I don't think GJ is gonna have momentum. GJ is not a great pair, not a very fast pair in general to deliver higher. To deliver in general doesn't really have volatility. When it starts to have volatility is towards lunchtime, which means towards like 1 hour from now, which would kind of make sense with our entry. And we can clearly see that the trend higher, the behavior we have higher is kind of slow. So that usually means at some point, if we don't have volatility to kind of fully expand here, they're still gonna come into our entry. Let's see the other pairs. They're not really good. Okay. DXY ended up holding bullish, which means Euro ended up holding bearish here. And it didn't validate our entry, but that's fine. Maybe now it has kind of potential. Let me make this smaller to give an entry bullish. But yeah, we will probably dwell a bit lower towards this area overall because it's just too strong. For me, I would probably see this price come into this order block because it's like a 4-hour 3-hour order block, and then from here we're gonna wait for like 1 hour inverse to look for to target higher. But for now, ain't it, definitely ain't it. DAX, ugly as fuck. UJ ended up printing pretty heavy bullish. I didn't really expect UJ to be this bullish, but yo, sometimes it is what it is. But it was way choppier. UK of the order block, I was spotted this order block. This could have been a demand setup, but I don't really trade like this. And look how it's already like 3R. But I don't really trade setups like that. And gold, yeah, we're probably gonna start dwelling lower, to be honest, on gold. But it's not a valid strategy. See, this is why I say, that guy's telling me like I only trade with intuition, bro. I don't. Like, this is not a valid strategy because I only have one confluence. I need to wait for a 1 hour gap to print lower before starting to trade this setup. Even though it looks good on the 5-minute, maybe take a demo, sure, but actually on the 15 it looks good. Demos, sure, gamble, take whatever you want, but not on my life. And this is what we're probably gonna be drawn towards. We're gonna see places like this. Sell, boom. Doesn't look, I don't know, I can't really tell, but I still think we're gonna see that sweep. That's what I'm seeing here. I can even, right now I can find you trades that have happened like this. Like I had so many trades that did this, but let me see if I do remember instantly a UK trade that I had, where we did some stuff like that. Let me go here. I don't know if this is a break-even trade. Maybe this is it. No, it's not. This was a bad close. But I do remember a UK trade that I had. Why is this notion? What the fuck are you doing, man? Let me remember. Because it was a pretty old trade. Oh, yeah, no, I know what to look for. Duration, I think this. No, not this. Not this, not this. It was a pretty long trade. I think maybe this. No. Bro, but I know it's a UK trade. No. At some point I'm still gonna find it. Yeah, this one, like this is very similar, but it's just my journal is bad here. But price did end up having this big ass trend line liquidity, and then it comes back, sweeps our break even entry, and continues higher. And this happened a lot of times. I don't know if this is the only trade I can find right now with this example, but yeah, these are pre-old trades. Pre-old. I have a lot of losses. This was when I was making a lot of psychological mistakes. This was not such a bad entry. UK hasn't been, I haven't really mastering UK, but that's fine. These are like early part of the year, so that's fine. But yeah, I can really find it. I wouldn't really say it's dangerous. It is something necessarily you don't want to see here, but I still believe in my trade. What we're gonna pay attention here is when we come from the entry and when we retest here, how we behave. I still do think in my entry, I don't really see price being bearish. We do have I think this is a 50-minute gap, yeah, which can make it likely to start dwelling lower, but I don't think so. I still think we're coming for that sweep here and then continuing higher, even on the 50-minute, even though price action is not the cleanest, is like a fractal low, the pattern that I always talk about. We see we're probably still gonna come in entry. What we gotta pay attention to then, if we come into our entry, is gonna be how we behave around this area, because it's gonna be an area of initiation. Though I don't think we're gonna care that much, but it's not like yeah, it's not even like a strong inverse, because it's not impulsive on the bearish side. I don't want to see it hold lower actually here. Still being patient on the trade. No emotions, bruh. Zero emotions. This is the state you gotta be in to be able to use intuition. That's what I want you to understand. This is the space you gotta be in. If you're not in this place, you can't use intuition properly, and you can use it consistently. For me, my intuition here is telling me that it's still fine. It's a slow inverse. Doesn't hold a lot of movement, so it's usually a kind of retractive inverse, if that makes sense. He's very struggling to break low, which is indeed, I don't want to see slow behavior come into our entry. Even if a 3-minute gap forms here, I don't really care. For me, this is very slow. And now since we did this inverse, which is a pretty strong sign, we're very likely gonna come into our entry area right now. But as I said, I'm gonna be careful. Just about being careful. I'm sleepy. Because we do have a 50-minute VG, which can make it a dangerous thing to hold your entry. But I do still believe in my trade. We're gonna see if it's a good choice or not. I'm considering whether you should be scared of this or not, but not really. Like, even if we see a 3-minute gap form, this 1 minute is very not strong. When I'm gonna be careful is when we tap our entry, and when we turn back here to retest the inverse. That's when I'm gonna pay attention. Or this 3-minute gap. But for me, this entry here still looks like a wakeable entry that is gonna hold higher, like massively. I'm not saying this because I want to see my trade win. This is just what my intuition is telling me. I don't really care about seeing the trade win or winning the trade. I really care about just expressing like what I think and my skill. It it can be scary, yes. So we're gonna definitely pay attention, but I don't think it's alone a reason to be closing the trade. Because even if the 3 minute is impulsive, bro, 1 minute is very slow, very slow, which is what I want to see in my entry. Now we're probably gonna sweep those lows. Let's see if my skill was right on this. I'm really curious if my skill was right. If I ended up making a good choice. First of all, I did say that this entry looks like an entry that's gonna get tapped in later. That first of all looks like I'm gonna be right most likely. And second, I do want to see if my thought of this being like a retractive inverse is right. That's something I haven't really talked about until like, I haven't really thought about until now, like a retractive inverse. That's a really interesting term or thing to look for. And actually, one thing that I also like is that all these candles are down close candles. It's not balanced price action. I don't know how to explain this. Yo, yo, yo. I'm brain dead sometimes. Would be crazy to win today also, isn't it? Would be absolutely crazy, but that's not for us to think. What we gotta think about is what to do with the trade and adapt. I really like how we're retracing though. We might come retest it and then come into entry. Yeah. We're getting missed again, really? I don't think so, but it can be a possibility. That's even better, to be honest, because if we see that retested now, let me make the music slower. If we see this gap retested now and hold lower, that's even better because this POI loses relevance on every retest. That's one thing that you should also understand is that POIs lose relevance on retests or mitigations, however you want to call it. I think most people are actually aware of this, but POIs lose relevance once they're mitigated, which means that if we see this mitigated right now and then we see lower, it means that this POI lost relevance and is more likely for us to deliver higher and break through. But it kind of look like it going bullish right now. I don't know. I still think my entry is fine. Now we have even more sell side, so it might just be building more sell side here and it might sweep later, but for now we're still being chilling. I still believing in the trade. Wait, where the song at? Just believe, bro. Believe. That entry gonna get wicked at some point. It looks like it's breaking higher again. Okay. I guess we didn't get missed once, but twice. But I'm still trusting it. Like, as I said, this is what trading actually is about. Not getting mad that your entry is getting missed, trusting your trade when it's time to trust, and being able to determine when it's time to close and not stop trusting your trade. But for now, I still think we're gonna come back into that sell side. Like, we have really clean sell side, really clean gap. This area just got even more confluence when we see these equal lows right here. So just trusting in the process, Gengi. Just trust, man. Fuck. I'm still sleepy, bro. If it leaves, it leaves. Who cares, right? I don't. man. Trust, man. Trust, man. It's all about trust in you and God. Hi, bro. What's up? Sorry, I was AFK. It's all about trusting. It's all about trusting in God and you, and not your happiness not being dependent upon what happens in trading. You being happy that you're just present. That's what I mean. I'm just happy because I'm here. No matter what happens, no matter if the trade is a loss, no matter if the trade runs without tapping me in, and that shit doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day, gangy. Hell nah, hell nah, hell nah, hell nah, hell nah. Man, shut your bitch ass up, man. Billy Flowers. This is sell side. Look where our entry is placed on sell side. Trust, trust, trust in the unseen, in God, in everything. Trusting in the Godding. Okay, I'm gonna go 5 minutes away, and gonna be back. come on, bro. Are you serious? Okay. At this point, he's just toying with us, bro. Like, come on, bruh. At this point, he's really be toying with us, but it don't matter, man. It don't matter, bruh. I'm gonna move it to my second monitor. I'm just gonna play something. To be honest, now it's fine to play when I'm not in the tree, but it definitely looked like it just missed us the third time. Like, come on, bruh. Come on, bro. You been playing with us today, man. You been playing with us today, man. But I don't know yet, because we're forming a really strong high here. So I don't know if it's gonna be still a good idea at this point to keep holding it, but I'm just gonna react to whatever Marcus don't be doing, to be honest. Did I move? I did move to my second monitor, okay. So yeah, at this point we're still gonna hold, but we gotta be really careful at this point because we formed a really strong high, and I don't know if we're gonna displace through that shit, to be honest with you. To be honest, we chi. um Fringe, the fuck is this? Because it's been consolidating. GJ is generally consolidating a lot of times, but yeah. Yo sir. Oh, come on, bro. Why you don't have that shit? That shit. That shit. If it misses, it misses, bro. Does that shit matter? Hell nah. Hell nah. It doesn't matter, bro. No. It don't mattering. We're still gonna wait, but I don't know if I'm at this point. I am starting to be confident in. I don't know if I'm gonna be confident in holding the trade anymore here. It's not because I'm scared or whatever. It's just because we built a really strong high there. So I don't know if we're gonna be delivering through it, but I'm gonna let it see and see what we do. Wait, the fuck is this? Keybinds. I'm just chilling a bit. I'm chilling a bit on Warzone. I don't want to play anymore while I'm trading, but for now, since we're not tapped in, I think it's slightly fine. But I do want to make my audio like more silent. The fuck?
Voulais pas, mais.
Hey, shut the fuck up, kid. Kid.
C'est pas le problème. Tu veux être derrière moi. Tu es. C'est quoi ce truc? Chou.
Still very choppy, but it's kind of, again, as I said, it's kind of well known for GG to be like this usually. Oh my god, tu me l'as. choppy as hell still, but I'm not sure what's gonna happen though. Oh my god, bro, how is this guy playing like this, man? It's looking like it just wicked us once again. It is what it is. Like, again, I don't think I was wrong for expecting us to sweep into that in that sell side liquidity, right? But for now, we're still waiting. Let me recheck slightly. Okay, my game, no. Multiplayer. I do want to check the other pairs, what they did throughout London. Okay, Euro printed bearish, DAX printed bearish, but I don't really. We did close back, we did raise liquidity, and it's technically a sell, but I don't really like how we're looking. UK not great, gold not great. Jew hell no. Yeah, only GJ looks valid, but it kind of looks like now it's gonna leave. I don't really see price coming back again, and I don't think I wanna leave my entry open right here anymore. We did get missed by, yeah, probably like a pip, not even a pip, 0.1, but it is what it is. I'm probably gonna call it. I don't know if I wanna. I'm gonna slightly watch more, but generally I think I'm gonna delete the trade. I don't know if it's worth leaving it open, but I'm not sure. For now, I'm still gonna monitor. Even if it taps me in, I wanna see how we behave. So that's probably gonna be what I'm gonna do, and we're gonna see after. Yeah. For now, I'm just gonna be patient. For now, it's looking like it's gonna leave in. Did I make the wrong decision? Hell no. Hell no. I don't think me taking my entry on the most probable area for us to get tapped in was a bad decision, right? And I generally don't know, like, price is really choppy, it's building a lot of structure, so I don't really know whether to leave my entry open or not. So I'm gonna wait and see what price does in the next few minutes, because he might still come and sweep that sell set and still hold higher, because the entry is still very relevant and we do have a lot of sell set on these lows. So it's just up to what price does. If price is gonna start hard leaving higher from here, yeah, but we're probably gonna delete it. And we got missed, shit happens, just a normal day. Like, sometimes you get missed, which is fine, right? Probably not the highest quality of trades anyways. So yeah, it looks like it's finally leaving. It did sweep that sell set, but it did a really shallow sweep, like a really small sweep. I was still, since sell set was really close to that FVG, I was still expecting price to come into that FVG, but we didn't apparently. So but it's still, yeah, just price sometimes. Bro, Black Ops 6 is so cool. Like, one of my friends just gifted me Black Ops 6 and it's a really cool game, to be honest. I play Warzone, but Black Ops 6 is cool as well. So now I'm just, normally, as I said, I'm not tolerating myself playing video games while I'm in a trade, but now we're not in a trade, if that makes sense. And this is kind of the only setup that I would generally look at, to be honest. For at least for now, we're gonna see how New York looks like, but it doesn't look like a very quality day. So for me, this week is way more than enough anyway, so I would not be mad whatsoever. For even if I don't have trades for the rest of the week, because we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday winning trades, so I would definitely not be mad in any way, shape, or form. Even for this missed trade, and I'm not looking at results right now. I don't care about whatever happens with the results of a trade or whatever. If I have trades, if I don't have trades, I don't really care. I mean, I'm just caring about being here. That's all I care about, and that's the reward for me. Ooh. That was a nasty kill I just did. Oh my god, I almost killed like 7 people. Why am I lagging? Hell nah, bruh. Nah, just Dayton impact. Okay, now it's looking like it's living with. It's fine. So if we break above these highs, I mean, generally I don't want to keep my entry open anymore anyways. But yeah, we got missed. Shit happened. What matters at the end of the day is that, first of all, we made the right decision, which we did, and that's pretty much it. Like, the result doesn't matter. Oh, nici penal, coaie. Penalos. What the fucker? Fuck is this dog shit weapon, man? How do I get 2 kills with this? Yeah, these days, like, yeah, today and yesterday ended up being pretty shit days. Like, we didn't get a lot of quality price action, which is fine. Like, considering that we're in a low probability week, I wouldn't really expect that. But yeah. Yeah, now it's definitely looking like it's gonna leave. Which is fine. But we're probably gonna end our session soon. 20 more minutes, and probably that's gonna be it. But it's crazy how close we were to getting top 10. But yeah. Technically, the entry doesn't lose relevance. Like, I don't know. What makes me not really wanna trade this is the consolidation that we had, like the massive, big ass consolidation. It's not something I generally like, but oh no. Like, yeah, we ended up reacting of this 5 minute, which is fine, but I still think I'm still gonna hold my choice of that being yeah, the better area. Can't be really, I mean, can't really tell much because price has just been consolidating. Like, there's no information to be assessed, so can't really say much, to be honest, about if the trade's gonna go. Like, if it's gonna go above the highs and start displacing higher, that is gonna be information that we can probably close the trade. But if it's stalling, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I just don't know at this moment what to do with the trade, so I'm just gonna wait for some more intent. I preferably don't want to choose comfort decisions, which means closing the trade because my session is done. I don't want to choose that, but yeah. No way that works. Now we're getting a better entry pattern, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We're probably gonna hold into sell side, but yeah, still not sure if I want to be trading in conditions like this. That's kind of what my thought process is like. Technically, the trade doesn't get invalidated anyway, so. The fuck? funny that it's still stuck, still not moving anywhere. At this point, it's definitely not worth it trading. I want to trade in better conditions. Well, I feel like it's okay to delete the order. I'm still not sure about what to do here, because it ain't doing much right, and I want to take. I don't actually know. I'm gonna let it sit for a while, but yeah. I don't see generally a reason not to hold. So probably still gonna leave it open. just told you, it's still gonna hold for a slightly period. I'm not sure. I do want to see how we behave on the sell side. If we reach on that entry, that sell side, and I want to see how we behave on it, and then we're gonna make some decisions based on that. For now, I'm not really can't really say much. It's just consolidating. decision right now would be, I was thinking about it, is to half risk. It's not necessarily to, um, I mean, I'm not sure. It doesn't look bad. Like, it doesn't look like it's gonna fail. It just looks like it's consolidating. So what does my skill tell me here? What are we gonna do? Cause I want to sleep. Like, I'm sleepy as fuck. I need to take a nap. So I'm gonna be away from the chart. That meaning, what are we gonna do? I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. Sure. I still believe we're gonna come into that sell side, but again, GJ, not the greatest player. Uh, this is how many times it moves in London, especially in a low probability week. We can't really expect to have like great price action. We would have been tapped in, but it happened. So I move my, I didn't, my bad. So yo, I don't know what to do. When I don't know what to do, it's better to leave it this way. You know what I mean? So if I don't have a clear decision or my skill isn't telling me that I need to do something, it's just better off to leave it like this, to be honest. Don't really see any reason to do anything just yet. So what we're probably gonna do is just let it be. You know what I mean? Let it be, let it breathe. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I still believe in the trade. I still think we're fine. This gap still looks good. Again, it's a gap that probably gets tapped in. Like, we do have this 50-minute VG, but I'm still not generally worried. So we'll see. For now, I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna think, but I still think it's fine. I still like this sell side, which I think they're gonna get swept. But we did also have this inverse right here that got tapped. But yo, the trade should still be standing. Like, I don't see any reason for it not to be standing. It's just that we didn't have volatility to necessarily print. So for me, this gap still looks like an easy tap. When we start getting volatility, we come back, we tap this, we sweep all the sell side, we tap this very optimal FBG, and then continue. So if that's what I think, I'm gonna let it be. And iri would iri, right? I don't see, even though we have a 50-minute VG, I'm not, again, I don't care about winning, but I just don't see that scary. You know what I mean? So I still see this gap as being extremely good. So probably still gonna let it be. I'm gonna mute and yeah, just gonna let it be. This is that's what I'm gonna write. This is sleeping. And yeah, they're gonna let it be. And whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I don't really care what's gonna happen. I just care about making the best decision. I think the best decision right now is just to let it be, because entry is still looking really good. So yo, stop loss really protected. Should be fine. And yo, that's it. not necessarily great. Somehow I just woke up. I don't know how. Exactly when I got tapped in, I saw this good reaction for now, but I don't know. Like still kind of early to be saying anything. It should be fine though. We did have a really nice reaction, but I still do believe that this trade is gonna be fine. So it's just about trusting at this point. I don't know how the fuck did I wake up exactly when I got tapped in. Like my alarm was set off 1 hour from now, but I have no idea. It's like I got a vision on my sleep, in my sleep, that I got tapped in, and bruh. Weird, but it should still be fine though. I still do believe in this area a lot, so I don't know if I want to necessarily do anything. I don't think so. Like it's just about letting the trade. I don't really like that the bullish get rejected here, but I don't think this is worth doing anything right now. Just want to see how this area holds up. Not great. That am I wrong for still trusting it? Still trust it somehow. I don't know. I just really like the entry that we have. I'm just gonna let it be. I don't know, but it's not looking that great though. I feel like here we should have ended up holding this. Probably is a low, so I don't know. I feel like here we should have held, but it doesn't. I don't know, bro. I don't know why I'm. It's weird. I somehow still feel like I should trust this. I don't know how, but yeah. They just are in that gap, so yeah, but this is very weird price action and it's a lot of resistance, but I still don't really like my entry area. This would have been nice to hold here, but this, I don't know, bro. It's weird. It's weird. Big ass consolidation. probably over. Maybe not, but I still, it's weird. I don't think I'm biased, but I just still think I should trust the trade. That's what I'm getting. That's my subconscious is telling me. Now my subconscious is very, how do I say? I don't know how to explain this, but when you sleep, when you wake up from sleep and when you go to sleep, your subconscious is very moldable and very easy to listen to, and that's what I'm getting, that I should still trust. I was looking at this low, which you probably did come into, but I don't know. If it fails, it fails. Like, that's not anything wrong with that. Like, sometimes we feel this is not the greatest trade, but for me, I still believe in it. Which I don't know if it's being biased. I don't think it is. I have no idea actually. I do really have no idea. You just fill the gap. We came in the order block, but I want to see some. I generally don't know how to feel or what to say about this trade. We did have the strong consolidation and we did initiate. I don't like that the bars got rejected here, but I feel like we still have the potential of holding higher, if that makes sense. I don't know why. I don't think I'm biased. I'm being aware of this. Am I biased? Am I forcing my trade idea, or what am I doing? But I don't know. For me, this low still looks strong. Gap still looks good. So we're gonna see how we behave. I'm pretty sure we're gonna start retracing towards this order block. Like, no matter before potentially hitting our stop loss, I'm pretty sure we're gonna retrace here. And I'm gonna wait and see how we actually behave to that order block when we come, which means around break even orders. This is where buyers got rejected. So if we keep holding like bearish entry patterns from here, I'm probably gonna close. But otherwise, I don't know. Somehow I still believe in the trade. I don't know if I'm wrong for doing that. I'm just kind of trusting Muridu. As I said, we kind of always, like, this feels weird about GJ. Like, we always have lunchtime volatility. As soon as we hit lunchtime, we start displacing and start seeing some momentum. But yeah. I don't know if it's weird for me to trust it. I'm really in the state of trying to listen to my intuition. Somehow it still tells me that it's fine. I don't know. To be honest with you, I have no idea whether I'm doing the right choice or not. But I'm just gonna listen to what my skill is telling me, to my intuition. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna refine later on. But yeah, still looking good to me. I just wanna see here how we're gonna behave around that order block, around the bars getting rejected here. We just had a deeper pullback. We retapped that 1 hour FVG here, so I do like that volatility is coming in. I just want to see it hold strongly higher and inverse this order block. It's actually good. Reversing this 3-minute. This can also be like an bro. Like, this gap looks extremely good. Right here. Bro, am I crazy for thinking about scaling in? Am I actually crazy? How many? Oh, I was so, like, I was looking through the monitor. Bro, I don't know how that happened. Like, the unit, bro, it felt so weird. It's like I got a dream seeing that my trade got tapped in and I woke up instantly. I don't know what the fuck that was. But I don't know. 0.2 at most. I'm willing to scale on this probably. I do like how this gap looks. I just want to see how it behaves. I do just really like how it looks. Am I wrong? 1 point. Let's do even smaller. Let's do 1.11 buy limit. 198995. 198995. I think we already missed the opportunity. Oh no, the spread is very big. Oh shit. Not looking great. But still expressing my skill now. If I'm wrong, let it be wrong. If I'm not, that's fine either. Both ways are fine. That's really fine for me. And our take profit's gonna be, we're gonna switch places. We're gonna do like this. It's gonna be at a 3R and this is gonna be at a final at a 1. This is just what my intuition is telling me, and I'm listening to it. I'm hella listening to my intuition. If it's gonna fail, it's gonna fail. I don't really care about stuff like that. Like, all I care about is me expressing my skill, and then if I'm wrong, I'm just refining what I did. So somehow I still think it's gonna work. I'm not saying I cannot be wrong. I'm not saying that, but I'm just doing what I see, to be honest. We do want to still see price come into our order block, because here we kind of didn't fully close above the 5-minute FVG, so it's kind of not the greatest entry, but we're gonna see. I'm curious about this trade, to be honest. I'm curious if I end up being right or wrong, but again, really intuitive play, even the scaling for me, and even trusting the trade here. But now what matters a lot is how we behave to this 5-minute FVG right here. Apparently for now our scaling is holding pretty well, but if I do want to see this get inversed, if this order block gets inversed like this, is gonna be perfect sign for us. We just had a deeper pullback, but I didn't like the fact that here when we tapped our initial entry after getting missed so many times, 3 times, we ended up coming, reacting. We had buyers here stepping in, and then that got rejected. I didn't really like this part, but somehow, again, very intuitive, my intuition was still telling me to trust the trade for some reason, even though my rules and logic was telling me that it's not looking good. Now we're gonna see how it behaves here. I do like how we reacted, I do like how we came, but it all comes down to how we behave around this FVG, because around this order block, my bad. This order block is pretty important. It's usually one of the strongest types of order blocks is when we consolidate, and the order block formed before initiating out of the consolidation, before leaving the consolidation range. That's usually very strong order blocks, but now it's nice that we're gonna have this to guide ourselves on what price is doing. Is it gonna hold that order block? If it's gonna hold, this is gonna get inversed. If it's gonna get displaced, this FVG is probably gonna hold higher, but we're gonna see. And if we do inverse, that's probably gonna be a good time to close and just not being attached and just closing. But I do want to see price what it does here. For now it's good, but again, just really paying attention. GJ moves so weird, bro. We have volatility in lunchtime. That's such a weird thing for a pair to do. But having volatility in lunchtime is kind of crazy though. I don't generally, I mean, there is times when pairs have volatility in lunchtime, but GG kind of almost every time it has, and every time London Open consolidates and it ends up leaving in lunchtime. This is a good start. This is a very good start, but I do again want to see that. I want to see this area here getting closed above. So if I have like I do want to see kind of price come around here and close above. That would mean should be an easy target, but it's hard price action to trade in because of this right here. Right now we're not like 0-1 around break-even orders, but I'm just getting ready to do whatever it takes. Like, I'm not being biased whether I want to see the trade win or I want to see the trade lose. I'm just focused on focusing. That's one of my words, one of my phrases. I'm taking the best decision. This is usually retractive, like not being biased again. This move higher on the 5 minutes usually retractive. Usually. But 1 minute it's a bit better. How we had this gap, and this, if it holds, is gonna be pretty good. All I care about is seeing this area getting broken. This is very high resistance. That's why it's hard to trade. In conditions like this, it doesn't mean like it's not worth necessarily trading in conditions like this. It's just way harder to do it. You gotta be extra cautious when trading in conditions like this. But scaling ended up being decent. Oh, pretty small scaling, but if it hits higher time frame draw, which is I think here, this is my final TP on my main position, and this is scaling TP. If it hits here, we're probably gonna make like 1%, I think. on scaling 1.4 almost, and this is gonna be like 3.2 if we do manage to come that, but it doesn't really look like it because the move kept slowing down. But looking at here, looking at 1 hour, we're doing pretty good. Like how I see price action here on the water. If you wonder why I took this trade, we had 4-hour FVG, we had this low getting swept, this low getting swept, and then on the 1 hour we had Asia print this big ass FVG here, and on its mitigation I just placed my entry here on this FVG. We didn't end up getting, we ended up getting missed for 3 times, and then price coming and sweeping us kind of late. But for some reason I still trusted the trade. I don't usually kind of leave my entry open this much, but today I don't know why I kind of trusted it. We had a deeper pullback, we came again, mitigated that 1 hour AVG here, and now we're starting to give some reaction. But yeah, it's a weirder trade because of this goofy ass consolidation. And now it's kind of pivotal. This becomes a really pivotal price point, this 1 minute FVG. Do we hold it? Means trade is fine, trade is most likely chilling. If we inverse, pretty much fucked. And we gotta be fine with both decisions, to be honest. Like I'm down also closing if you don't get what I want. Because what I'm seeing is that 5 minute is retractive for now. Like we don't see a lot of impulse on the 5 minute. This is really dangerous as well. But it's not yet, we don't yet see enough information to take a decision. It's kind of stall. It's funny how it's stalling between both of the positions. But it would be nice to win the trade, I ain't gonna lie, it would be nice, but that's not for us to worry about. Gotta worry about what's in between. What decision is there to make? Because not all trades are gonna hit TP, and that's fine. Some trades are gonna just fly to TP like the one that we had yesterday. Some trades are not going to. On some trades we gotta be aware and close our trades early before taking a full loss. We just gotta be able to mold around what the market's doing. Like this is how I trade. Yeah, some people trade systematically, like they have a rule that tell them okay close or okay do that or do that, but I just trade heavily based on experience. So that's where experience comes really useful. First, cutting rules are short. I very rarely end up taking full losses. I almost always cut them in half, and it ends up being the right decision most of the times. And when things like this, like leaving your entry open, like looking what to pay attention to, like it's so many things that experience is gonna help you. And experience being intuition, basically. So yeah, this I want to see broken. That's what my intuition is telling me. That this is dangerous, this is retractive, so we gotta be really cautious on what we do next. And I gotta accept whatever it's telling. Like if it's telling me that it's dangerous, and if we break lower I'm gonna close, like with no hesitation. I'm not here to force my idea or force what I want from the market. Like of course I would want to see the trade win, but if we get like very clear signs that we're gonna be bearish, I'm gonna close. As simple as that. Just take whatever the market's giving you and whatever your intuition is telling you. That's one of the hardest part, like trusting intuition, like I don't know, just trusting it. Because intuition is basically pattern recognition, bro. Like everything you've seen so far, you've seen so many trades play out, you've seen so many patterns, you've seen so many price actions, you've seen so many trades fail. And when intuition is telling you that a trade is gonna fail, it's telling you based on all of those trades that you've seen fail. So intuition is never there to not help you, it's always there to help you based on what you've seen. That's why system or rigid system will never be able to do what intuition is doing. Like a rigid system alone is going to be way weaker than a system plus intuition. It's probably going to fail looking at it, being honest, but I can be wrong always. That's one thing that you also need to like accept. I feel like being wrong, you know, and just stand on business. Just like if you're wrong, not getting mad about it. Like even today, like what I was talking about earlier is not being mad that I got missed 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. In the past I used to get so mad about the fact that I would get missed, and I would end up revenge trading because of stuff like this. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like the results of the trade don't matter. For now, apparently those sellers still got rejected, so this is gonna be a really pivotal price, a really pivotal point for price. You're looking like we're building bearish intent. I just want to be patient upon seeing both these gaps here. We're also retesting the 5-minute inverse, so don't close too early. Wait for proper confluence. This doesn't matter. This right here doesn't fucking matter. That's why I always zoom in. This is one thing that helped me. Don't look at percentage or a profit. It doesn't help you in any way. I can't say necessarily it's bad yet. I still want to see here how we behave. I don't know why again. I feel like it's gonna be fine. Am I tripping? Am I not? Am I biased? Probably not. I don't think I'm biased. But we're seeing. For now, it's still stalling between break-even of both entries. And yeah, it's just that this is dangerous. That's the only thing I don't like. But it's a ping pong between two POIs. It's either gonna hold this bullish inverse or it's gonna hold that bearish FEG. So let's see, what are we doing? Again, move doesn't have any gaps, not clear displacement. But I don't like the rejections here and here that we see them. But it doesn't mean the trade is over. It might be just a temporary reaction, and if looking at these candles, that's kind of what it looks like. Unless we get some momentum lower, I'm not gonna do much. I still feel like it's gonna fly. I don't know. Let's see. I'm waiting on this candle close. If it close like this, probably gonna close the trade as well and cut my losers in half, because this is pretty much clear signs that we're gonna lose if we close impulsively. Yo, I'm out here. I'm out, baby. This is gonna be a loser. Just accept it, cut it short. That's it. Right here. How much did we lose? 0.5. If this trade would end up going to full stop loss here, it would be a 1 point something. Just again, knowing when you're wrong, and for me this looks very dangerous. Can be an early close, can be, but I'm just gonna stand on my decision, which I think is fine. It's very dangerous how we reacted. For me at this point, it's very clear we're reaching lower. Like this FVG should have held higher, should have broken above. The fact that we're printing a gap here makes it just very obvious that we're gonna reach back lower and we're gonna target exactly our stop loss. So yeah, not every day you're gonna win, and that's completely fine. This trade wasn't the greatest trade, that's for sure. Considering this, maybe I'm gonna think about it, but I feel like, I don't know, I've traded scenarios like this, but I still think, I don't know, it's weird. I have to journal this and trying to see what would have been the right choice. Delete the trade or not. At the end of the day, it's just feedback for your skill. I'm still refining my skill. That's what matters, not the result. What matters is that every day, like on the trade as well, I'm gonna learn something. Wait, was the trade bad? Was the trade good? Should have I deleted it? Yes or no? You get what I mean? But I was see intuition, like, bruh, like that guy telling me like intuition is not consistent and you cannot make good decision with intuition. What are you gonna say about this order block? What are you gonna say about this order block though? What are you gonna say about it? Like, come on, bro. And now, again, this is gonna be a very important lesson, because not only you need to take the right decision when you're winning or wherever. This is me live doing and closing my trade early. Instead of taking a fucking 1% loss, you're taking a 0.5 and my wins are 2, 3, 4%. That's crazy risk management. So that's a skill. It's only intuition based. This is intuition based. This is what intuition can do. Instead of you taking a 1% loss, you're taking a 0.5. That makes a huge fucking difference in the long term. It's a huge fucking difference. Huge difference. But yo, still good day. I reached the point where I don't really fucking care about the results anymore. The thing is, this trade probably should have deleted it. To, if I'm being fully honest, probably should have deleted it as soon as I saw this big ass consolidation. Entry was still good though, but when we usually have these consolidations, we usually melt through this gap, and that was what I was thinking exactly. Like, I've been trading scenarios like this before, and I don't even know, this gap should have gotten top 10 before we fucking consolidate for 2 hours and a half. But yeah, see, bro, like, closing your trades early, like opposing entry patterns. Like, if you see a really good entry, but I could have flipped my bias here and take shorts. I think about that a lot of times when I see that my trade is gonna lose. I end up flipping my bias and taking shorts, because this would have been a really good bearish entry if you think about it. But yeah, not every day is gonna be a win, and that's not important. Like, what is important, what decision are you gonna make? And you see me closing here. I closed really good at a 0.5 instead of a 1 point something loss. And this is also important. This is also part of your trading. Not every trade is gonna be a winner, so you gotta be able to know to pull out when it's time. Like in in sex, the same thing. You need to know when to pull out. That's pretty much it. Yeah, not the greatest trade. I'm not mad. Like, considering what week we had, I'm not gonna be mad in any way, shape, or form. Like, taking a 0.5 loss in an 8% week is not really gonna affect me whatsoever. It's just I'm gonna learn. I don't really like GJ, bro. Like, I feel like this pair is not even worth trading. Like, many times it's just dog shit. To be honest, like, this pair is dog shit. I mean, this was one time where it ended up printing like 12R, but most of the times I just feel like it's dog shit. It's just garbage. It's not. This is what it's gonna move like for most of the time. This is where definitely not a good opportunity is. But yeah, we're looking like on euro. We're starting to reject, which is okay. We do have like a failed swing, which looks fine, but I don't know if I want to be trading today. This kind of fits my plan of being bullish, but I don't know. Like, look at this, bro. Come on. This looks like a good entry, but I don't know if I want to trade anymore. These don't look like very good opportunities. Like, we do have a 4-hour inverse and sets a liquidity rate, but I'm kind of fine. To be honest, this GJ trade was just a lower probability trade. It's a case I do see consolidations like this, but kind of my intuition didn't have enough experience to decide what's the best decision to take here. Closing the trade, is this a garbage trade, or leaving it open? And I ended up leaving it open. I don't think it was a wrong choice, because we still ended up closing exactly when the move started dwelling lower hard. then that's fine. Taking a 0.5 loss, it's fine for experience. But yeah, I don't know. This is also a very important lesson. I'm gonna include this in my video as well because it's very important. Like this is very important. Cannot be there only showing wins. Like that would be just faking the journey. This is how trading looks like. You're gonna have wins. You're gonna have losses, right? There being times where you don't know what to do. There are gonna be times when you maybe make mistakes, and that's just the reality of the journey. And you don't need to be mad at yourself. And yeah, probably that's gonna be it for today. I think I'm probably gonna take the day off. I don't really want to trade. Like we got a really good close in here. That's what I'm proud of. That was the best decision to do in the moment. Like again, cutting your loser short. This is part of trading as well. So as long as I knew I did what was good, it's still a W for me. The result of this doesn't fucking matter. Like of course you're not gonna win permanently, but yeah, this was just, I think it was a trade just not worth taking, to be honest. I mean, not necessarily worth taking, but worth deleting. I don't know. Now I don't know. Still don't know. I gotta reflect and I gotta analyze to be able to tell what the best decision was to do here. Like right now, I don't know what was the best decision, but that's gonna be fine. Yeah, thank you for being here. That was it for today. We ended up having a loss, but we ended up making the good decision to cut the loser short. So that's everything that matters. So instead of taking a full 1 point something% loss, we were able to cut the loss here. Let me actually put this around here when we started leaving. So still a good choice, still a good day, no matter what the results tell me. Like still a good day. And yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry for sleeping or things like that, but sometimes like today I just was really sleepy, so I had to sleep. But yeah, I'm gonna see you next time. I don't know if I'm gonna trade for New York today. I'm just gonna look a bit now and kind of decide whether maybe this, but I just don't see good opportunities, to be honest. So when I don't see, it's just better off not to trade. Like this was not a pretty good opportunity necessarily, but yeah. I'm gonna learn, of course I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna see you next time. Thank you for being here. I love you, and keep getting better, bro.